Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong. I am your humble host, Steve Ace, and today is November 17, 2022. This is episode 57, and we will be reviewing Out of Liberty in 2019. This is a Western drama with a running time of 1 hour and 51 minutes. Now, this review works best if you have seen this film before, though that is not required, and here's your official spoiler alert. If you want to get in touch with me, drop me an email to mormonmoviereviews@gmail.com. Here's your brief synopsis. Based on true events in 1838, on the American frontier in Missouri, Joseph Smith and 5 other Mormon prisoners attempt to escape the dungeon of Liberty Jail as they are repeatedly thwarted by Deputy Jailer Samuel Tillery. Now, while keeping the prisoners alive, Samuel is also kept busy trying to keep the angry mobs from outside from breaking in and killing the prisoners. So as Samuel tries to keep the prisoners safely in jail until their day in court arrives, he begins to wonder whether or not justice might be given to them better in some other way. So the film opens. Here's Joseph Smith on the right. He's played by Brandon Ray Olive, and he's speaking with his lawyer, Alexander Donovan, on the left about his the trial that he and his fellow prisoners are facing. Now, below them in the dungeon of the jail, there's the 5 other prisoners, and they're actually planning an escape attempt. So when Alexander Donovan leaves, the prisoners, they're brought up alongside Joseph Smith, and this is when their first escape attempt fails because Lyman White, who's played by Morgan Gunter, he's too sick to make it out the front door. And their prisoners decide that they just can't leave without him. The next day, before another escape attempt, the prisoners receive some visitors. This time, it's Porter Rockwell, played by Corbin Allred, and Cyrus Daniels, played by Jake Van Wagner. Now, the second attempt, it also fails, just like the first, when Samuel Tillery, played by Jasen Wade, and his 2 guards, they fight against the prisoners to keep them locked inside. Now, here is that intense scene. Now, hearing of this failed escape attempt, a mob from the nearby town of Liberty, it comes into the jail for some frontier justice. They're trying to kill the prisoners for their escape attempt. However, the prisoners, they are defended by Samuel Tillery, and the angry mob comes up empty-handed. Later, Porter Rockwell returns to give the prisoners some tools with which they begin to tunnel out of the jail. The beginning of the third escape attempt. During the process of tunneling out of the jail, though, a court of inquiry is held in which it is decided if the prisoners will go on trial for treason. A court is held in a schoolhouse as the mob, intent upon killing the prisoners, it prevented them from being brought into the actual courthouse. However, the mob shows up at the schoolhouse anyway and threatens the judge and the prisoners if the prisoners are let free. It's during this trial that Sidney Rigdon, played by Brock Roberts, he's representing himself. He convinces Judge Turnham to let him go free, but the other prisoners, they are returned to jail. It is soon found out, though, that those prisoners, they're trying to get out. They're tunneling out of the jail, and their hole is filled in. And that's when, in a moment of despair, Joseph Smith, he prays for divine guidance and receives comfort through a revelation. This is that revelation here, which is later canonized into the Doctrine and Covenants scripture. Have a listen.
Towards them, and thy bowels shall be moved with compassion towards them. Stretch forth thy hand, and let thine anger be kindled against our enemies.
Eventually, the prisoners, they do get out of jail, but they're only being let out to be transported to a different jail. However, it's during this time that Samuel Tillery, he decides that, you know what, I'm just going to let these prisoners go free. And he sets them on course to go to Quincy, Illinois, which is renamed later to Nauvoo, Illinois, the city of Joseph.
It's a 4 days journey to Quincy. Stay out the main roads. You'll find your way.
Thank you, Sam. May you find yours.
Now, this movie was brought to us by Garrett Batty. He's a BYU graduate, a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He's the director, screenwriter, producer. He brought us Freetown and the Saratov Approach, which I both reviewed for the Mormon Movie Reviews. Neither one of those films I thought was a very good movie, but this, Out of Liberty, is a big contrast to those other two. Now, the audience score doesn't have very many viewings, only less than 50 verified ratings. The audience likes it, and there hasn't been that much critical acclaim because it just had a very limited release. In fact, this movie only played to 35 theaters. It only grossed like $200,000. It probably did not turn a profit, but it does have intensive, evocative Western action. And Tillery, his role is played very, very well. He steals the show. Now, the Deseret News reviewed this particular film, and it says it's historically accurate, which I agree with. And it's basically like a Mormon Western jailbreak thriller. And I think it's really the director's finest work. It's gripping, it's satisfying, it's action packed. It's special. These are the words which come to mind when I watch the movie. My expectations were very low going into this film, but Garrett Batty, he delivers a hidden gem. It's a shame that more people haven't watched Out of Liberty, but I linked to it in the show notes for you. Now, thanks so much for joining me to review this film. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And join us next time for another episode of the Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong, in which we will review Ephraim's Rescue. So long.